good and enjoying your life with your families about NEBOSH International Diploma ID1. So in this video I will explain about the ID1 structure, the requirements, as well as how we write to exam, where you go to research during your answering the paper. So this video is very useful. Those are going to sit in the NEBOSH ID1 exam soon. So please watch in detail, and if you like the video, please share and subscribe the channel, and if you want similar video, do so similar. Let's move to our screen. As per the new syllabus, NEBOSH IDIP have 3 units which called ID1, ID2 and ID3. Today we are discussing about unit ID1. The name of unit is No Workplace Health and Safety Hazards. So first, which is coming is socio-legal models. These models explain you what is the legal requirement in the for the occupational health and safety. The different schools, different trainers, different NEBOSH partners providing different materials. The one of subject this is to cover legal models, which you are get depth and details how legally we required occupational health and safety at workplace, as well as what kind of legal requirement is and how we meet the requirement, and if company or organization fail to meet the requirement, which kind of consequences should be there. So this model is important. The same when we are doing the NEBOSH IGC, a part of this legal model we study in the NEBOSH IGC, but in NEBOSH IDIP we study a bit in more detail. The next is enforcement, because enforcement we not expect from most of the organization. They're doing occupational health and safety at their workplace with their own will or with their own wish, if there are no legal ethical requirement is there. So if there are no legal or ethical requirements is there, they're not followed. So there are enforcement. We study in this ID1 enforcement. Which kind of enforcement is there as per the law, which organization can interfere in case of major non-conformance, or in case of incident or accident, organization, which kind of consequences to the organization, as well as employee and employer. So here in this unit in enforcement, we study about the which kind of and how this enforcement will be executed. The third one is the International Labour Organization and its conventions and recommendations. So the ILO a major role in the occupational health and safety. International Labour Organization have a major role in the occupational health and safety. So in this class we study how ILO participate or involved in occupational health and safety, what is their role, and how occupational health and safety professionals can get supported from ILO. Also we study in ID1 the ILO conventions, the guidelines, recommendations. In this unit or in this class we study about the ILO. Non-government bodies and health and safety standards. Also, this is important when you are doing the study. You should briefly go in depth and study in the non-government bodies and health and safety standards, because during your exam there are highly chances this kind of questions, especially social and legal models, enforcement, and these non-governmental bodies. This kind of question uh, will become during the exam, especially when you have a scenario during the exam, same NEBOSH IGC as a NEBOSH IGC, but in more depth, and there are a lot of questions from there. So as a student, you have to write about the non-governmental bodies and health and safety standards. Third parties is also a very important subject. Which third party involves, how third parties impact on the occupational health and safety. Third parties are like your credential bodies, other enforcement agencies, labor organizations, etc. These are also involved. So you study in depth about third parties which involve and impact on the occupational health and safety in your organization. Insurers also very important, because the company when they doing insurance to your about the organization, sometimes they're doing partially and sometimes the wholly organization insure from the different losses, occupational health and safety losses. You have to study in depth insurers bodies impact on the occupational health and safety. And because of this insurers, companies highly focused on the occupational health and safeties, because if there are a more incident and accident, their insurance possibly uh, they have to give a more money, or they invest a more budget there. So they you have to look in also insurers organization structures, how organization structure, how uh, we say organization charts, how organizations different structure, different level impact and occupational health and safety, and how you cope up with them. Leadership, as we all aware, leadership have a very important role on occupational health and safety, as occupational health and safety started from the top to bottom. So during your study, you have to study about the leadership role. Uh, consultation is very important. Consultation, organization consults which on the which stages, how many consultation stages is there. So you have to study on that also. Health and safety culture and behavior changes program. uh, this is also one of important subject, health and safety culture and behavioral changes program. There are different program, different organization dealing differently with these programs. Some provide incentives, and some provide a different ways to promote the health and safety culture and behavior in the organization. Uh, Traditional and proactive safety management. During your study, you also study this chapter. So how the traditional and proactive safety management work. Risk perceptions. Everyone have a different perception for the risk. So if we see the organizations also have a different perceptions. So when you study in this chapter a bit depth about the risk perceptions, human failures and human factors, and improving human reliability and social legal models. These models also you study during your IDIP in well detail. competency, training, information, and supervision. Very important role play in the occupational health and safety by people should be, we all know people should be, employees should be competent, trained, and supervision also is very important. So in this chapter you will study detail about competency, training, and information and supervision. High reliability organization, this is also you are going to study in ID1. Hazard identification techniques, hazard different techniques you will learn during the ID1. Managing health and safety risk, so how we manage the risk when risk arise, when we identify the risk, and then how we manage the risk also you're going to study during the unit ID1. Risk management, we already discussed risk perception, but this is a risk management, how we manage the risk. This is very important, how we manage the risk during occupational health and safety outside. This is very important for professionals to managing the risk. Loss conscious and quantitative analysis of data. In this chapter you will study in depth about the different theories about the loss concession and quantitative analysis of the data. Measuring and monitoring. Measuring and monitoring is important because as occupational health and safety we are measuring the performance and monitoring the performance, occupational health and safety performance. So ID1, in the ID1 you study about this measuring and monitoring. Health and safety professional skills. This chapter also provides you the overview of professional skills, what as occupational health and safety professional you need, and how you can get. Social factors, societal factors. Societal factors basically is very important also, and societal factors have impact on occupational health and safety as organizations develop, or in which societal in which society, and how this factors are very important as well. Corporate social responsibilities. In ID1 you study corporate social responsibility in depth. Organizational change. Organizational change is very important because its impact on occupational health and safety in depth. This is sometimes organizational changes in the organization. For example, your HSE manager is changed, new GM is hired, this kind of changes, and sometimes there are time based changes on the work. Example, today they work with some engineer or some supervisor, and all of a sudden he went to go to some emergency or dealing other, and there are also organizational changes. So you study in well depth about organizational changes in this chapter. Supply chains. Supply chains is important in occupational health and safety. Different supplies is started from the labor, from materials, water, and equipments. All supply chains impact on occupational health and safety. If, for example, the manpower supply, which kind of people, how much competent people, if the equipment, which condition they are giving to the supplying the equipments, and their maintenance records, their third parties records. So supply chains always impact, and same different requirements in your stores, different PPs requirements, supply chains provided PPs, the quality of PPs, etc. You study in this chapter in well detail.